Hi, welcome to day 7. Alrighty, so yesterday I said I wasn't going to do another landscape, and I did another landscape. But there's a mermaid in here, so that's gotta be worth something, right? Right. Okay. So, to start off, I had already painted the base layers for my background in acrylics, and I had drawn out my mermaid on a bit of tracing paper, and then I transferred it onto my canvas using graphite paper. It's basically just paper with graphite on one side, so if you trace on it, it'll transfer the graphite onto whatever surface you happen to be using. To get the perfect circle for the moon, I didn't even try to do that by hand. Just traced around a round container that I had holding some Copic markers, and that is easy enough to get perfect circles without having to do it yourself. So I did the first bit of the painting in acrylics, and then I did the second half of the painting in oils. The reason why I did that is because I wanted a really pretty look like I had used oil paints, but I didn't want to deal with the drying time and all the effort involved to do an entire painting in oils. So I decided to do the underpainting in acrylics and then do detail work in oil paint on top. And that ended up working out fantastically. I think in all, it still took me 3 days to complete, breaking it up into a couple hours each session. Maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours each session. Words. But yeah. I did the first day acrylics, the second day oils, and then the third day oils. And that just worked out to complete a painting. If you I can't speak today for some reason, but we're just gonna roll with it, and if I keep deleting out every time I mispronounce something, we won't have a voiceover, so just tolerate me now. What was I saying? To notice that I am wearing 3 different shirts throughout this video, it's because I filmed it on 3 different days in which I wore 3 different shirts. So there is your answer. I think I'm going into a new obsession with mermaids that are in green environments, in forests or bodies of water surrounded by trees and nature where green is the primary color. And I think the reason why is because I've always associated green, or especially now have begun to especially associate green with money and prosperity and nature and plants and growth and expansion and just living in abundance. So I have now declared every mermaid that I paint in a green environment as my mermaid of abundance, and it's like my manifestation of wealth and prosperity, money, but also like prosperity of emotions and prosperity of everything, happiness. So that's the reason why I'm kind of obsessed with them right now. I also wanted to add a kind of a mysterious vibe to this painting where it's for the most part a very dark painting, but the moon is illuminating the environment and bringing light around it, and even in fog surrounding where the moon is and in front of the trees. I was extremely pleasantly surprised to find how easy it was to paint the water with oil paints, because with acrylics, usually whenever I tried to paint water, it dries so quickly I can't ever get the blends exactly right, and it takes a lot of time to make the reflections look like they're supposed to be there and not look kind of weird or off. But with the oils, I don't know why, if it's the oil paints themselves or a different technique that I used this time. I'll have to look over this and see what I did. But it was so much easier to put the reflections in the water and make it look just so realistic and magical looking. Also, the stars were really nice to paint using this technique with the oil paints. I ended up taking the white oil paint, taking a dot for a star, blending it out into the sky surrounding it. I let that dry, and then I came back with white acrylic ink, and then I put a really crisp, bright dot in the center of the star, and it made it look so bright and made the glow look so natural. So that worked out really nicely. All in all, I'm really enjoying the process of starting out with acrylic paints and ending in oil paints, because I feel like I get the best of both worlds. I really get to enjoy the process of acrylic painting, and then when I go for the detail and the richness of the color, whenever I work with oil paints, I can get that too. So I will definitely be doing more canvas paintings where I do more mixed media. So I love to resin my canvas pieces. I almost always resin my canvas pieces, but for this one I will be varnishing it. And the reason why is because last time I tried to resin an oil painting, the resin yellowed very, very badly. Now there's a couple variables to this. It could have been the way I let it cure, it could have been the oils, it could have been the resin itself. I know that I don't use the best quality resin, so it takes a lot more attention to detail to make sure that it cures correctly, on top of the fact the resin is already a kind of temperamental medium. But I don't want to take the chance of this painting going south, so I will not be trying again on this one. I might try one on a smaller painting just to see as a test, and I'll definitely buy nicer resin and see how that fares on oil paintings. So I'll figure that out in time, but for now, all my oil paintings will be varnished. Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow with the next Mermaid video, and I'll put links down below for Etsy if you like to buy this, other social media where you can find me at, and the supplies list. So, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.